For centuries, they were hiding the answer from us. But we are the generation that can see the answer, can build the answer, and can test and iterate the answer faster than them. So it's the first time that we have the tools, the power, the momentum, and the energy.
Samy Samandjeu is a serial entrepreneur from Cameroonian parents, known to many for his incredible joy and energy.
Why are we just so jailed into the problems that this beautiful mind can create? I don't wish to be positive. I don't wish to be negative. I just wish to be so in love with the fact that I'm living the human experience that I'm just celebrating any day. I think we are all here for a reason, and every single expressions of this light that we all embody is there to play part of the orchestra.
Recorded in London, in this episode we dive deep into mindset, wealth psychology, and the coming AI-driven economy, weaving together personal transformation with Samy's vision for systemic change and abundance for all.
What I see as inevitable is that AI will enter every layer of society. It's not a technological revolution, it's a spiritual one. Who are you? Who are you without all the labels that society gave you? When 9 billion people will go through that questions at the same time, it's the moment we rise out to make the world such a better place for our children. Let's go! That was a cool intro, man. That was a cool intro. I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much, Lars. That's the fact that you came here and we are present and we are sharing this moment. From the moment we met to now, I can only be blessed to get to know you and your beautiful partner and be part of sharing this moment, so thank you.
Thank you, man. I'm so glad to have you here. And your positivity is almost like infectious. And I kind of want to go into that. Like, how did you pick up that? What's the story behind it? Because was it from birth that you came out of the womb like that, or what happened in between?
I'm very happy that you bring up the term positivity, because a lot of time people meet me or people ask my friend, or even I was with my sister-in-law last week and she was telling me, hey, I was at work and my colleague came to me and she said, hey, this Samy guy, how do you know him? Is he always that positive? And she replied, and I was like, what people don't understand is like, in life, it's not about being positive or negative. It's about understanding that no matter the event of your life, so everything that's happening, the fact that we are here right now, the fact that you are at this school right now, the fact that you are at this work with your group of friends, every single thing that's happening, it has been created for our greater self. There is no hate, there is no pain that any situation is wished upon. It's all a learning. So when you know that the entire experience that you live has been conditions to make you a better human being, you can only celebrate them. Why would I be mad when something happened to me? It happens to me to serve me. I don't wish to be positive. I don't wish to be negative. I just wish to be so in love with the fact that I'm living the human experience that I'm just celebrating any day, because I'm not celebrating the bad or the good. I'm not judgmental toward the event of my life. The only judgment I apply is that the Creator loves me.
Yeah, I love that, man. So it's also like you're just a choice to apply a certain lens to life, right? You're not judging, you're just changing the perspective.
Do you think in your life, just tell me, is it always because something you judge is positive that it's actually that good? You don't know. It's only time that gives you that lesson, no? What do you think?
Yeah, I think definitely with time and with experience, I've noticed that I've started to see this pattern of the things that sometimes feel as negative or a big challenge in the moment, they always turn out to be the most amazing things that you didn't know you need. So it becomes easier to see that or start to see that in the moment where you're like, okay, now I'm stressed or something is happening different than I anticipated or expected or planned. Okay, and now what we do. And the more I go into surrendering, not stressing, being present, the solution automatically arises as well.
Okay, thank you. I have another leading question for you. What was the last frightening decision that you took? Because that leads to, oh, I cannot fear, so it's not good, right? The feeling of it's not good is not going as planned. When was the thing last time that didn't go as planned, but you still did it? What was that thing? When did you jump last?
Well, a big jump, and it wasn't frightening anymore, but it was for a while before, so we bought a house together last year, and on paper I had like some of the money from a previous sale of my previous house was on paper kind of like segregated as mine, but actually it felt like, no, I was listening to my accountant and like, oh no, you know, he was like, I'm there to protect your money and da. And I kind of went along, but something underneath didn't feel right, but I couldn't really pinpoint to it. And the idea to sort of, let's say, give half my wealth to my partner or like share all of what I have and all of what I am with her, a part of me was really afraid. And like there was one moment where I felt and realized, which was actually pretty, like you met Kudus, right? In Egypt, in a mushroom ceremony. And I just had so clear, like, I want to share everything with her, everything to the last, you know, whatever, like molecule of what there is. And then it was all of a sudden very easy. And it was like, okay, I feel abundance. And I feel like I was also laughable at how like this idea of like scarcity and like you can get so caught up in the ego. And all of a sudden I could sort of zoom out and see that, okay, that's actually ridiculous. But before that, I was fully in it, and it was like, yeah, like that.
First, let's celebrate this breakthrough. We love this. Like, this is just, let's go. She won the bag. Let's go. 50%. Let's go. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. More than that, no. But first, it's beautiful what led the ceremony of Kudus. But more importantly, you went from taking a potentially difficult decision that could create pain, that could create negativity, but taking that decision led to more love. It just invited more love into your life.
Absolutely.
So now, if you know that no matter if you take the positive, what it feels like positive, or no matter if you take the decision that feels like negative, the conclusion is it leads to more love, or more receiving love, or more knowing that you are always abundant. It's not because you own, even having 1% of your bank account, if you feel inside of you that at any moment, at any instant, the entire universe is always providing anything you need. You can be like, I have a castle tomorrow morning, the universe give it to you. If you know that, like, you can only smile at life. Why would you like, okay, it's bad. Actually, it wasn't bad. Joke. You know what I mean? So yeah. I just arrived at that level of spirituality early. I just arrived at a level of spirituality where I don't have to judge any event happening in the movie. I know that I am at the same time the character looking at the movie and at the same time part of the creator, because he made me out of himself, out of love, light, and abundance. If you arrive at that level of spirituality, when people say it's positive, negative, that's not really truth of my state. I am not judgmental toward the form of love that comes to me.
Accepting towards life, no matter what.
Life just is, you know, you just are in this moment, enjoying your wife, tasting life, going around, smiling. What do you want more? Life is the game. Life is, you know, life has taste. If you are just here sleeping and no energy, life has taste. Life has, you know, it's really, I always think about Good Will Hunting. That scene when it says like, oh, if you go and see the Mona Lisa, like life is like that, for real. The difference between the computer and us is the fact that when I go home and I smell the odor of my wife, I sleep way longer. That's life. That's literally how
it's
life
very
tastes.
True. Yeah, I have to say.
So why are we just like so jailed into our mind, into the problems that this beautiful mind can create. That's why, I try to tell people I'm not positive. I'm just like understanding of this.
And I love it. And at the same time, I think it's also good to acknowledge that so many people want to get there, but they're not there yet in that mind space. So what would you say are like good, like first steps or ways to make that shift in perspective?
I honestly think journaling is the first step, because you need to have the reflection. You need to sit and just observe your thought, observe your pattern. How do I feel today? It's never out of 10 or out of 5, just because today has different flavors. I did this work, but I didn't connect with the friends I wanted to connect to. So start journaling in your thought, collect them, go back to them and reflect. I think I cannot compare myself, and you can never compare anybody in their growth, spiritual growth, but they can start having the tools that allow them to enter those practices. So what would you say is a practice that helps you understand yourself better?
Yeah, journaling has definitely helped. Meditation as well. Just sitting with myself and trying to get in that place of observing the thoughts. You start to see patterns. You start to see, oh, I'm back in that loop, which last time didn't work. So maybe, and you start to even recognize, because I feel like if you are not recognizing it, you won't be able to change it, right?
No.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main things. And possibly if you're stuck, asking for other perspectives from other people. Like now.
I think it's so beautiful that humans, I don't know you, but like until I was 23, 24, I was much more like discovering life, just going around and seeing like whatever is life. And then something need to happen in your life where you're like, do I need to waste this? Do I need to waste this ability, this potential? And it's at that moment, like just like when I see the youth of today, we have reached a point where we have so much abundance of time, so much abundance of resources, and so much abundance on information on social media, but we still are so inactive towards it. Like we still are not living in the awareness of this generation has such a deep potential to reflect on what doesn't work and what could work for themselves. And that's why I said, when I go to schools and universities and I speak to these youth, and I said, start bringing those practices like journalism and breathwork into your daily routine, and you're going to realize that you're going to awaken to your own power. You're going to awaken to the fact that you want to change the world. You have the tools. You can Google. You can use AI today to ask the questions, to build the solutions, to go help. And in an age where, everybody will be able to self-sustain and make so much abundance, even financially, I think it's important to let those practices like journaling and breathwork, etc., enter your operating system, just so you come into awareness, of yourself.
You said you will at some point realize you want to change the world. What is that for you? Like, what is the thing in the world that you'd like to change, and why?
I think we are all here for a reason, and every single expressions of this light that we all embody is there to play part of the orchestra. And so what I tend to do is I look back and I said, hey, as a builder mindset, we just discover like the web. We just discover what was the web back in the days, AI. And the web was just created to collect all the data points of the human experience. So AI has the potential to bring clarity to all these data points, to bring cohesion to this human experience. And I was working on building AI systems when I realized all of this thing, and I said, hey, wow, AI is such a powerful conductor to bring clarity, to elevate the human experience. And I was working around it last year when AI started being a big topic. And then personally, I went through a long period of isolation. So 4 or 5 months in my office working by myself. Remember that isolation, deeply thinking about a topic, and 2 days in a row it triggered in me download. So I'll go to I will go home to my fiancée, and I'll tell her, oh my God, my love, this happening. And the last day, it's very special to me because I wrote it in my book, My Philosophy of Life, Positive Focus, My Way, my Philosophy of Life, My Way. And I wrote it in my book, and I said, when I was 14, I went to a rite of passage. You know what's a rite of passage?
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you the story still.
Yeah. No, but so can you explain for people who haven't heard about what a rite of passage is?
So I went into, they put me in a dark room. It was 3, 4 a.m. And they were singing with, like, the room was full of smoke. They were singing. They put me in a river, washed me with herbs, with all the elders of the village were there. They put me in the middle of the courtyard, and they were all singing, And I was wondering, like, but what are they singing? I never could remember. And after I had the 3 days of downloads and going to my fiancée and telling her, this is happening with AI, I understood this, I then remembered fully what they were singing to me, the elders. And I went back to them and I to my mom, and I said, hey, Mom, why you never told me? I remember now what they were singing. She said, why? And we started both crying. And what they were singing, and I always have it in the background of my phone, this one, it's, young prince, one day you'll grow up to become king. You must maintain your majestic composure first. Whatever you do it as a king. For us nation, for his kingdom. Be humble, you are made of earth. Be noble, you are made of stars. You have the universe inside of you. It's the golden generation, son. It's time to awaken the light, to let in the light, the love, the abundance. We are the golden generation. So when I was so young, 14, and the elders of my village was trying to pass me the message that this generation is really empowered with tools and systems that can really change how humans are, evolving into society. So I think it's just time for us to come together and awaken this generation to serve,
Mm. So what is that golden generation exactly?
I think we are just here to bring oneness. I think we are here because what does it imply that we can build better system for management of resources? For very simple, like hospital today and doctors, you can have a system that fully manage like healthcare and shelters, because if you look at the pyramid of Maslow in front of how fast AI is entering society, the power is to remove the lower layer. So provide for everybody shelter, provide for everybody healthcare. And we can have systems for that in place. However, putting systems that are transparent, that are fast, that are on people's face all the time, it implies having tough decisions to make, coming back. That's why I said that AI is the greatest awakening in the world, because it will lead to so much abundance, but it will also only be activated if we have oneness, if we forgive each other. Because you will have redistribution of resources. You will have some companies to be like, hey, this company should be nationalized for entire resources of this country. We have to just redefine the human experience, but for that we have to forgive and come toward each other, and that's our mission, the golden generation coming and saying, stop everybody, we don't care about more fights. If he's happy, I'm happy, we both have houses forever, I'm good, you good? Okay, next, let's build the system that guarantee both of us that, not only you,
Yeah, I remember you saying, or I heard it somewhere, where you said like the AI revolution is not a technology revolution, but a consciousness revolution. And I hear what you're saying at the same time, which is kind of one of the questions I had was like, it's I agree to a point. Like, this is gonna create a lot of possibility and abundance and like decentralization, but there will also need to be maybe a consciousness revolution first for the technology revolution to work in a way that it benefits everyone. Because if you look now, which you're also laying out in your paper, like if you're looking now at the world and like how governments and power structures work, is that they tend to benefit the few and not the many. So I'm wondering, like, can we go into that a little bit? Because I feel like it's,
but you know,
there's this amazing promise of AI and technology, and I think it's in a way it's going to help us to get to a deeper level of consciousness. But at the same time, it also feels like there is more consciousness needed for, it's kind of like, what's the chicken and the egg, or are they going to go hand in hand?
But it's inevitable. Like, my job personally, as when I do all this work on research on AI and research and work on consciousness and writing my philosophies, I'm trying to listen to the system. I'm trying to literally go and have downloads about what I see is the evolution of the world and put words in front of it. I'm not trying to judge it, And what I see as inevitable is that AI will enter every layer of society. Why it's not a technological revolution? It's a spiritual one, because the system that we have been sold to push the capitalism society was, go to school, go to university, work, contribute to the factory system, basically, retire because you are obsolete. Now, AI has made this creation of value, which is basically build the knowledge, and the rarer that knowledge is, so if you are the rarer and the most generative this knowledge is, this hourly paid work thing, that's over. So that's inevitable. I'm not even talking about consciousness and anything. So if that's inevitable, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, people will realize, oh my God, I'm losing my job and I cannot have a new one. So you don't go to school anymore, because do you want to be in debt for 30 years when you can put all the knowledge in your head? Would you do that for your kids?
No, like even if you would start like study now, by the time it's finished, the job won't even exist anymore.
It's
probably.
over. It's from today, it's already over. So you lose school and the socialization it brings. You lose your job and the ex-Meta, ex-Google on LinkedIn. You lose that. So who are you? Who are you without all the labels that society gave you before that? I think it would be when 9 billion people will go through that questions at the same time, it will lead to some social, catastrophe. And we need to be ready to train people to see themselves,
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of it's the catalyst. It might just, some of us might look at it with fear. I know a lot of this is obviously very hot sort of debate, but like I like the idea, because it's what I've seen also with the whole COVID thing, was like a lot of people lost their jobs. And then in that pressure cooker, they found something that actually gave them way more fulfillment. They found something that gave them more meaning, and this might do the same.
The secret of a good life, as a good friend was reminding me, is freedom and meaning. Freedom and meaning, is they sold us a story of scarcity of resources that has always been abundant. Now you tell me that, it was scarcity, now it's abundant. They told us a story of things that cannot change. And I just feel like with AI, that's why even now, the fact that what is being pushed in front of our faces, it's fighting over a collapsing system. Every single day, attention is the greatest thing any human have, because wherever you put your attention, that thing grows. And now they are every single day pushing the story of let's fight over resources that are basically humans' resources, but we fight for flags within. Okay, let's try to fight for humans. Based on that, like, can't we just, like during COVID, sit for an entire year and have a referendum about what creates the human condition as a basic level? So, we just look at the pyramid of Maslow again and be like, what on the lower layer can we build as a system that will guarantee shelter, healthcare, remove, bam, guaranteed for the entire world? And, there is a lot of space in this world and we can build things. So it's questions like that where I'm like, why are we as humans in this need of create a scarcity and go fight for it?
Isn't that also like survival? Isn't that in our biology as well? Like survival instinct, and which of course is only needed when there's not abundance. But I feel like even a lot of people that have enough still feel somehow the need to take more from others that have less.
But creating a floor is not removing how people. It's two different notions.
Oh, I know.
If I create a floor where you can fall, it's not the same as. The value of zero will still be the floor, but the human condition will have grown. So if I come to you, people just put definition and labels, If you and I know, okay, the only way I can put you broke is if you are, I don't know, like minus whatever in your bank account. But if the only way you can be broke is, you still have a flat and you can still, go to the hospital and take care of you, that becomes a new zero. You have literally like healed billions of people. That's what we're talking about, That's what I'm seeing as elevating the human condition.
Okay, so what have you seen, like how we get to that vision? Like some steps in between, or what do you feel like is needed to get there?
For every birth there is a death. There is always a war, there is always something happening, because people need to be shocked enough to be pushed to act, to be pushed into, it's almost a call to action. And that's why I'm preparing, because I know it's happening, I think we all feel it, we all feel that this generation is about to experience and enter into some form of portal, some form of transitional phase in order for us to reach the new equilibrium, because we know that this world today won't be the same. That's why I call this golden generation to prepare yourself, the people who believe that they can be of service of building, the new system just by being themselves, just by recognizing that I am love, man. I'm full, I'm a human being, and I will be enough in the new world,
I like that. Like, I think so many people, including myself sometimes, still have this notion of I'm inadequate, or I'm not good enough for, the world or something particular. Do you think that if we change the circumstances, we will automatically also change the inner world of people, or does it always have to be the other way around?
It's an interesting question, but I don't think I don't approach it like that in my head. The way I approach it is if it's inevitable for you to go through a sort of ego death within the next 5 years, within the next 10 years, the entire planet will go through an ego death. If you have been through it, good. If you haven't, you won't, because you will realize that, my value was never my value. What I have in my brain is actually I can choose. So the story you have been told will change. So if 9 billion people go through that, I hold it inside of me as a truth. Then they will get a chance if you give them a new base, a new zero, which is healthcare shelter for everybody, they will have the chance to do what? Oh, now that I have the minimum guarantees that creates deep fear inside of me, which is not having a home, not having healthcare. If I remove those from the equation, now I can create, who can I be? How fun can life can be? If this new experience, I cannot potentially die from diseases or die from a cold in the street. Oh, how can I just express myself in a way that is so beautiful and so true to myself? That is cool, because a lot of the decision people take is based on, I wasn't able to go to the right school and access the right knowledge to be myself, or I'm very scared to not be able to pay rent. You remove both, you create a powerful population of people who deeply want to live life.
Yeah, who dare to dream, like who don't just dare to dream, but dare to act.
And dare to be.
Yeah.
Dare to be. You just have to be yourself. And I think at the end of the day, that's why I say that if we are all created from love, light, and abundance, and all have a story to tell and an expression of this light to show, there is nothing worse than not living that expression.
I feel like when we're looking at AI and it feels like the people that are currently most benefiting the early start of this rise are the people that are using it for leverage.
Yeah.
And the people that aren't yet doing that seem to, well, I wouldn't say fall behind, but it's interesting. Like, what do you think are, how can we do we all need to get there, or is there other skills or aspects of being human that will come to the foreground?
That's such a beautiful question, and I ask myself that because it makes me question myself about suffering and how many people will suffer, and I try to take another step back and look at it that, okay, it's inevitable that in 50 years everyone will be abundant, but in the transition, what's happening? And there is so many different possibilities. Like, the rich can be bigger and stuff, but more and more what you can see in the population is that when you're going to realize that suddenly out of 100 trillion cash available, the wealthiest have 99 trillion and you have 500 billion for 90% of the population will get up and be like, I think in the next future, we need to redistribute wealth a little bit. Not a lot, but if we don't even have 0.5% of the cash available and you all have everything, like, give us a little bit. Otherwise, this world is not going to go well. Because at some point, believe the population when the circus will stop. The populations will stand up and claim what belongs to humanity, not just so they can keep doing that. I think they can keep creating and harnessing, and I think it will just lead at some point to some sort of populist thought and actions.
I think we're already starting to see that
and
everywhere.
It's just like not when you are in a world in front of you where you go to vote and the actions that are perpetuated after winning your vote are in total misalignment of what you believe in, when it will start hitting your pocket and the fact that you cannot feed your kids, when it will start being isolationist through losing of your social networks, etc. And when you go to this, people will go in the street. They will have more time. They will be like, I'm bored. I have nothing to do. Let me go in the street and tell the world that we don't have to suffer more. Like, it's really that we don't have to suffer more. We can, we can design solutions today that help everybody, not only the Silicon Valley.
Yeah. So just for later. I can hear your headphone quite well. Is that right? Yeah. Thank you.
How is it?
Good. It's good, man.
She's like, nice. What's going on?
No, it's nice.
Really?
So let's backtrack a little bit into your life and like when did you first realize that like the importance of or the notion of abundance, even when did you come into contact with that idea for the first time?
And I want to define this. Abundance to me is being able to do whatever you need to do whenever you need to do it. And I've seen it all my life because of my mother. What is abundance? Oh, I feel like I need to go to dinner tomorrow. A friend calls you, is inviting you to dinner. You didn't spend 1 cent, you wanted to do something happened. Oh, this summer I have no plans, but it will be fun to do something. Oh, we are doing this thing, do you want to come? It's a super event. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm short on my rent this morning. Oh, my brother is calling me. Oh, Samy, Yana, here. Like, it's just like this, trusting that there is an orchestration that will never have enough at every step. That step, it doesn't need to be, to come in the exact form, in the exact, let's say, you know this game where you put the exact form and it goes through how you believe, kids are using
Like the shapes.
The shapes.
Yeah.
You love some shapes as human. You love certain shapes. When they come, you're like, wow, I want to see that shape. But sometimes some very interesting shapes come and it goes through and you're like, wow, I discovered something cool. And that wow is that what you have in movies. In movies, it's never, you'll get bored if you think it's good, having always the same shape, but at some point your dopamine get like, oh no. And as human, we wanted to create the movie. We wanted to receive the abundance. So welcome it. Every single event of your life is just you embracing the fact that you trust life. It's just you being like, I love life so much. And even this crazy card is going to be the greatest set, And I know I'm like, not digressing, but I want to give more context about my philosophy because it's all interconnected and it all works as a framework for approaching life,
Yeah. So going even more into that then, like, because I think what you're saying is abundance doesn't have to be money. And I think most people automatically connected to that, but it can be so many different things.
No.
And it's also about knowing what you want and then leaving space for life to take the wheel to get you there. Is that a correct?
It's calling it. It's saying that I want to be this and taking the action for your life to reflect physically that truth. I want to become a tennis player. Start going play tennis every day. That's it. Put yourself in the direction of when you put yourself in the direction where every evening, when you put your phone against the wall, you take the picture, do you look like the person you want to become? If you do that every single day, by day 40, 50, 60, you'll already be in the picture. You look like, wow, I look exactly like him. That's the simplest exercise to do. It's not that wishful thinking. It's like, hey, the world is this beautiful, moving ballet dance orchestra. Cool. God loves me. I live in abundance light. Super cool. So I trust the universe to dance with me, whatever dance I decide to dance with him. Let me go still dance it. So the universe, if I decide to dance, the universe will dance. If I don't decide to dance, the universe will just turn around. So I still have to get up every morning, put my bachata, tango, whatever dance you guys dance, and go dance. And life is so beautiful like that. It's so trusting. It's so engaged and it's so just like worthwhile,
Yeah, it's really about getting up every day and chasing after it, like getting into movement.
Getting into one thing that has changed my life is really those practice again, like waking up every day, doing breath work and isolation. Isolation, wandering and letting your ideas wander. And, I discovered something very interesting, actually. I discovered that I have 3 modes. I have the mode of output. So I'm out there in the world and I'm doing MC and I'm meeting people at conferences and I'm doing all of these. And I have the mode of integration and rest. So I go back home and I'm like, oh, what new did I learn about the world? And how do I integrate that into my philosophy? What's new mental model? And I have the period where I just write a lot and I post some of my writing. And I have the period of rest. And I discovered that the sequencing of them, if I place them well, meaning that, hey, I am in output mode all day long at the office. I go to the gym after, so these output as a place to land. They land in the sauna, they land in the gym. Finally, I can integrate them. And when I go home and I'm ready to sleep and I'm ready to be present, and having those practice really helps you just be more aligned. It's so important. When you're aligned, that's why I'm working on this project, because when you're aligned as a human being, you emane the vibration of abundance. When you're aligned, I discovered that when I'm aligned, it's because I'm electric. You meet me in the street, you're like, oh, I want to be friends with him. Can we take a picture, Samy? Can we do this? And because of that, because you want to take a picture with me, suddenly we are in a meeting here, we're having a podcast. Imagine the law of attraction. I'm aligned, I smile at you in the street, I'm jumping with you, we take a picture, we're on a podcast. Abundance. That's how I think the law of abundance and alignment are connected.
I also feel like there's a lot, like, I think I once saw somewhere like the universe loves speed. Like, it's really about when you feel it, you act right away. You keep in the momentum.
Do you feel like you are the passenger or the actor?
Actor, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I sometimes feel like I have to be honest, sometimes I do feel like the passenger. I can get overwhelmed of like, when I'm in the middle and I know this is going to get me to a new beautiful state of being, but I can't see it yet or feel it yet, and I can kind of mostly see how it is different than I envisioned it in the moment. It can feel like the passenger, but what I then try to do is breathe, slow down, zoom out, and become the creator again. I feel like that's, yeah. I'm definitely, I can still be there for sure.
Do you think that you were always meant to do what you did, and you just got the lesson of how, or do you feel like, no, you just did it? Or do you feel like there's a deeper purpose on why you did it?
Let me see if I'm actually answering your question, but what comes up is like that every time I try to plan things into detail, it actually doesn't work. And if there is like a vision, but also openness, then it happens. And every single big decision, every single most beautiful thing in my life happened without me controlling how it came into my life.
I love that. I love the stage where you are at in your life, because it's really the stage where you are in full awareness of that truth that life is for you. You are living, you're a living being that was made from the creator. I think do you feel like you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you know that, I think very soon you will enter another stage. And the next stage, maybe I'm just trying to personalize you right there. Maybe it's not cool. But it's the next stage, I think, for you will be entering the calling phase. And when you have the calling phase, when you have this mission that is being called upon you, you will understand another thing is that actually you're not the actor. You are part of the script, the code needed to generate to create an inflection point into the system. And we all are. Like, there is not a single being that didn't come here from his calling. But in order to receive your calling, you first need to be arrived into alignment with who you are and your true self and your true capabilities and your true nature. And I think you're right there. You're at the point where you're like, yeah, hey, God made me, this universe made me, I'm here to be loved. I deserve every single love, internal, external. Like, money don't, like, I don't make money, money chases me. And I'm excited for you to receive your calling, your card. In Harry Potter, when they go around, you have the magic hat. I'm excited for you to receive your magic hat.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's like, you talk about alignment. Like, I felt that, like more and more up now, it's up to the point where it's almost unbearable to consciously do something that's out of alignment. So what you said, like earlier, like a decision that was like there was fear around, or like it felt like a big jump. Actually, what comes up now is also over the last year, I've actually said no to quite a lot of big commercial film jobs because I want to do this, and this feels like way more meaningful. Even though on the short term, actually financially, it's not my ego, my scarcity mind thinks it's not the right decision, but I know deep down, I feel no, this is, and I have trust that I will have enough, and I don't need more than enough. So I feel like there's probably, it's there, but I'd like for you also to, like, what is your definition of alignment? Because I feel like alignment, if we are aligned to who we truly are, then life will go so much more smooth for us. And we feel so much more in joy and in happiness and in higher energy, in flow. But what is alignment? How would you describe it?
I love the way you phrased this. That was beautiful. Alignment for me is so subjective, and it's not a simple task to quantify it. But personally, when I wake up, when I say that, hey, I want to complete one task this week at work, I want to get that proposal ready for the week. I said that I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to go or take care of my body or do some breath work, whatever. I'm going to do that 3 times a week. Then I'm going to connect with the people that inspire me, uplift me, people that make me feel good, and have a lunch book with my friend Alex, a date night with my fiancé. And I think all of that combined, I feel more aligned with who I am, with what I want to do. I feel focused, and that's personally for me. And I think as a whole, for people as well, when they feel like they have a community, they feel healthy and strong, and they're moving toward the goal that they want to accomplish, they're at least aligned to the direction of where their life is going. And I think, what do you think? What is it for you, if you had to describe it?
I think it's living out who you truly are or truly meant to be. But the thing is that is, I think it takes time to become attuned in the world that we grow up in, we have grown up in up to now. It takes time to let go of the conditioning, the programming, the labels, to actually be able to attune finally enough to see what that is in the first place before you can actually act like it. Maybe, but it can also be just dropping the fear, which is, I think, what all the conditioning and everything is kind of based on, like underneath. It's just the fear of being left out, the fear of not having enough, the fear of not belonging to the group or whatever it is, will make you do things that deep down at some point you will feel or have felt that that's actually not the thing that you're supposed to do.
So I love what you just said, and it's beautifully said, but did you notice that if you put in this equation that you said, the fact that 9 billion people will go to that question. 9 billion people will ask themselves, why am I in misalignment? Mm-hmm. What are the causes of my alignment? And at that moment, they will need something that hold them into, what are the indicators of alignment? What are the indicators of misalignment? That's why in some of the work I do, I'm trying to capture that feeling, that sensation. Because if you could, imagine if you could give a remote control of life to people where they see, oh, this is a signal. I see it as a, when you have the safe. You have a safe and you have the lock and you're like, I see it the same. Imagine if you could calibrate and you see the vibration with it. Oh, I have the full signal of my alignment. And it's like, I think everybody could vibrate high. People say that I vibrate high. I'm like, oh, Samy, when I see you, what did you say when I came in? Said something along the line.
Like, it feels like there's an infectious positivity in a sense. Like it feels to me like it's impossible to feel down on life when you're around.
Exactly. But that's not the truth. Like, I think what I've realized about my power is that I just ignite inside of you your light. So I come and I act as a little fire and suddenly you feel your own light and you're like, yes, I can do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to become, and I'm going to work on. But you don't know how to sustain your lighter. You don't know how to sustain this vibration so the light stays. And I think finally with technology, you could build such a tool that shows people what's the right temperature for me for the light to stay on. What's the right temperature for me to be so present, so loving, so in flow with life that anything that's happening to me, say life is good. That's the goal.
So you're talking about...
That's good.
You're talking about Lucie.
Okay.
I think, right?
Yeah.
Can we go there a little bit? Because this is not out yet. But...
I think it's not out yet, but what I'm going to say is if you're a founder, if you're a builder, if you are at university, this is actually not the time to be outside. This is the time to deeply sit and think, okay, we arrived at the truth where machine to machine will rule the world. So machine to machine will rule the world, such as people won't go and click on Amazon to buy products. Agent robots will go on a marketplace to buy products. So platform like Amazon Marketplace or even LinkedIn will disappear. So it's your opportunity to go out there in the world and build anything because you have a 5-6 years window before AI and governance around AI becomes complex. But you want to make sure that when every single other jobs will disappear, you build the skills to understand AI, to use AI, and to make sure that you build safety for yourself. So that's what we have been doing for Lucie has a bigger, I would say, mission for the world and purpose because of the team and who we are and what we aim to build to make AI of service of humanity. But you at your level every day, focus on building AI stuff.
Can you take us a little bit into what the app will be able to do, or like what your vision is?
But the vision is to create that frequency of life is good. So, for instance, it will align your day to your circadian rhythm, to your energy, because basically we have lived this life based on calendars, based on tasks. But we all know that we all follow much more circadian rhythm cycle. So I shouldn't just have a very exhausting meeting at 7 p.m. My brain is KO. I'm fried. I'm maybe at 20% energy. But if I have the same meeting that require 80% of energy, I have it in the morning when I have 100% of my energy. That seems like a more suitable time for me to book that meeting. So it's about reinventing and letting AI help us to tell me, hey, maybe I have that meeting, but not at that time. oh, maybe if you go to the gym at this time, maybe it's better for you. So it's much more around like aligning your day to your energy levels. And then when you think about and you have that concept, what else can you align in your life? You know, I'm using my phone, for instance. What happened to me the other day? I was in Australia. I went to bed at midnight. I woke up at 1:30. I go to see my mother-in-law and I said, oh, I'm so exhausted. She's like, why? Oh, because I was using my phone, watching the games and working on my phone. She said, just don't use your phone. And so Lucie was able to send me a notification on Sunday and say, hey, on Tuesday and on Thursday, you had your worst recovery, your worst sleep, and the lowest energy because you use your Instagram from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. So the following week, she blocked social media all evenings for me. So directly, she helped me take an action, implement something into my life to make sure that I sleep better. So I feel better, so I feel more aligned, so I feel present.
So the app helps you to, in a sense, see the patterns and what the effects of them are for your health and your alignment.
So I want to say that I am someone that sleep good. I have to align with that sentence. So Lucie is making sure that she's making me aware of my pattern. Hey, this is happening. And when this is happening, it creates this. So if you want to be a good sleeper, let me mute this for you. Same thing for my calendar. Hey, I want to come into each meeting with the highest energy possible. So when I go through my day, I feel like I'm embracing the day. I'm not just being punched by it. And she aligns my calendar. But then you think about your friends. Every time I am with some friends, Lucie sees how I feel, how is my energy, if I sleep better after, if I feel more inspired. And she flagged me when I reply to them, hey, by the way, every time you have spoken with Lars, your energy was higher, your sleep score was better, and he's in town, so let's have a lunch with him. Things where I think AI will help us see better, you know?
Mm. You touched a little bit earlier on your mom. I know you have a special relationship. I'm curious, like, what she taught you about life.
Just, I would say she told me that life is magic. Life is magic when you know that God made you. Like I always say, it's so funny because it took some time for my siblings. My siblings always knew it, so they always saw it. But for my partner and everybody else to sit around my life, I would just like live life and believe anything is magic. I'll go to the airport, being late, the plane is closed, and I'll always say like, biggest smile. I'm the last one I know you can do something. They will open the plane, drive me to the plane, back door open. I'll just do anything in my life and I will know that, right now I will find myself on this island with these people that, you know, are building this craziest tool in the world. That I know that my life, because of my mom, and I've seen her taking, you know, 30, 40, 50 people from Cameroon, from a small village, move them to Paris and get them all, you know, passport, visa, housing, all this stuff. I've seen that you can create magic in life. It's not where you start. It's not your conditioning. It's actually your faith, you know. It's and my mom gave me that. She gave me the knowing that you're a king, you know.
I love that. Yeah. I think, yeah, we are all kings and queens and we can take care of our kingdoms.
Literally there is no such a better thing than you know, like you are the greatest, the most sublime, like you are the universe and it's literally not in front of you, it's inside of you. And it's so empowering to think like that. It's so like, you created this situation, you know? So if you created this situation, what other situation can you create?
I feel like it's also pointing towards like the power of identity, or like the shift of identity. Because I think a lot of people, when we think about, let's say, like affirmations and stuff like that, it can all sort of live in the head, and it's all like repetition in the head of what you're supposed to do, quote unquote. But if you can make it your identity, then everything else will automatically follow, in a sense.
You cannot make it your identity. You can only remember it. Why would you make it your... You don't wear a... Imagine you are naked and you don't wear a cape that shows you your truth that you are naked. Like, what do you mean? I am a superhero. Like, God made me. Like, what? Like, you're not going to tell me, oh no, make yourself believe that you are one. So that... But you just know. You just remember that... It's insane because I feel like all humans have to remember is that you were made from love, light, and abundance. There is a source, the creator. There is an entity who created, he sent this ray of light. He said, hey, we are so loved, we are so abundant, we are so cool. This is such a fun paradise. And we are so bored of having everything. This ray of light, I'm going to send you into small entities, into small bodies that we are. And we are just going to try to remember that we are abundant. So he put us and he sent us with light, with love, because he wants us to have a new experience. He wants us to discover what life is. He wants us to understand all the riches of this life. And with abundance, because no matter what, we are going to be provided for. He sent us with those true rules. When you know that, you don't even need to affirm anything. You just like say, it's not an affirmation, it's a commandment. I'm commanding that God made, like, what do you want? You know, that's I think the embodiment part. What do you think? You see the difference? I'm trying to be more specific.
No, I like it. I like the remembering, because it's like, I feel like it seems more and more to me that all the big truths are paradox and are the opposite of what we think they are. Just as like what you just said, like we come as souls to earth to remember that we're abundant, but the only way to do that is to first experience the opposite, because you need something to hold it against for it to be able to see it clearly. And it kind of feels like it's like that with everything.
It is, and it's that's why it's a dance. That's why this experience is a great dance. And sometimes you feel like you're going to fall in, and it's coming back. Who? And it's, wow. You know, just look at the chart. The chart is visible only because you see where it's empty. You know, you look at, oh, here is empty, here is like 20%. Your life is the same. It's like you need to see those different things, you need to experience them, but at the very end, understand that you are, you know, loved, and that you are light, and that you are abundant, and nothing is here to complete you. Even in relationships, like nothing is here to fulfill you. You are fulfilled because you just are, you know?
Takes the pressure off too.
My God, you know, also, especially when you make mistakes, especially when you feel life is so heavy and I made this and the world is hating on me and I'm hating on myself and my relationships. I'm like, dude, you're just experiencing life. Dude, you just like, you know, you are here for that, and you claim for that, and you say, put it on him. Put it on him and be like, I dare you to teach me a lesson through this experience. I dare you to show me how beautiful this part plays in my life. I live in the knowing that this moment that I'm walking through is not the definition, but it's just the reveal of what's coming from me. And when you have these framework on thinking, it's not about like screaming them in your screen and your mirror every single day. It's embodying them with your behavior. How does that embodiment realize? Come out of your place, biggest smile. You know that all these things are happening, but biggest smile, biggest welcome. Say, yes, life, whatever you want to give towards me, I'm open arms and I want it. Smile at it. Say hi to people. Be kind. Give some openness. And you will see how life will say, you open for more love, here more love. Let me bless you with more love.
Do you have like an experience for your life that stood out where it was maybe objectively really hard, but you were able to make that shift?
It just like, I spent almost a year and a half in an hospital bed with my 2 Achilles tear. So I ruptured my right and my left Achilles playing football and tennis. And I was in my hospital bed and I was just looking at the ceiling when it happened. And I was supposed to go see my brother Andy and one of my best friends in Cape Town. He calls me, he's like, hey, Samy, what just happened? I'm so sad you're not coming today. And I say, hey, I'm going to the surgery in 2 hours, but I'm anyways like focused at work because I want to focus more on tech. I was in service business and I wanted to go into tech and build some tech. And that was 4 years ago. And he's like, Samy, whatever you do, as my brother, I believe in you, your energy, just who you are as a person, let me invest into whatever you do. I sit on my bed and I'm like, wow, I was supposed to be in the flight to Cape Town now, and my brother is giving me already like 150K to whatever I want to do. I call 19 others my friends that I went to school, university with. Before the operation, the surgery, I raised $1.6 million. So in that 2 hours, because I had this surgery, I built this new one, and so I start learning AI and I start learning all these things, and I have this first business and the platform doing so well. And suddenly I learn AI and I see what's happening with AI. And now I'm literally at the forefront of building so many agentic systems and learn so many important skills. And I was in my hospital bed rupturing the weakest point in my body, So was it bad or good? I don't know. I just welcome it.
And zooming out and seeing what is possible. What does this invite me to?
I was open for that moment. I was open for the stillness it brought. I was open to the downloads it brought. I was open to the clearing it brought. Because, with all of that, that's why the pain, the pain can come from losing friendship, losing changing situations, losing businesses. The pain can come from like everywhere, and it is, for all of us. But at the end of the day, let's cry over it, but let's integrate those lessons and move on. For me, going through those painful moments in my life, physical ones, business-wise, etc., has always been very rewarding.
It makes me think also, like, I wasn't in hospital for that long, but I had a serious accident many years ago, and I was in hospital for about 3 weeks. And it was also this similar of like the doctors were like, okay, it was pretty close, it was really bad. This is what's going on. You'll be here for a while. And something in me was like, okay, then tell me what to do and what can I do? And there was no moment of, it's interesting. Like, it seems like when you are close, I wouldn't say close to death necessarily. It wasn't like that, but or at least not consciously, but like in these moments where things seem very serious, it's almost like you're being stripped of everything that's not really important. And all of a sudden you can see it clearly. And it feels to me like what you're saying earlier about having solitude brings you perhaps a little bit into that space. I'm curious, like how you integrate that into your life, because I've heard actually a lot of people that I think traditionally you would say they should be very busy, people that are running big companies, but they have 1 or 2 hours a day, every day, where they're doing nothing. Just for the space, to have the space for something to appear.
No, not for me. It's the opposite. Like, okay. I like space. It's just like everyone, my fiancé will tell everyone is asking always, oh, Samy is so social. She's like, he's a homebody. Like every time when I go in my trips or in my representations, I am very social. But when I go at home, I'm in integration mode. And when I enter integration and rest mode, what I need is less social interaction, and I need a lot of space in my calendar. So I need entire Wednesdays where I go on long walks, like very long walks. I can walk 2-3 hours easy, and I'll just like ponder and write and talk to Lucy and have long conversations, because I need to be able to make sense of the world around me, because the world is moving so fast and I'm doing so much. I need to see where my brain wants to ponder. So I create that space of a day of that, and I limit the number of people who can have access to me totally during those weeks, and it can last 2-3 weeks, and then I go back into a cycle of engaging more with people.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean, like creating, like consciously creating more space.
It's like literally zones of that's why attention, and we call it attention keeper with Lucy, where like she's noticing where my action is being leaked. It's literally, I'm paying. We are literally paying every minute, every hour to this. So I want to pay more attention to my family, to the people, my community, to the project I work on. And as I said, one of my biggest focus of now is just working towards how can we use AI to elevate human potential. It's so shameful that we have discovered the single biggest power since electricity, and there is no leader capable of articulating an intelligent human society. It's so that's where my focus goes.
Going all the way, what is the dream that you have for humanity?
At some point, the time will come for maybe not our children, maybe their children, to come into a world and never knew what scarcity is. They will come and say that I have a home, and I always have, and I don't know what it is to not have a home. I need to go to the doctor, and they have immediately access to any cure, just that abundance of life, that they have the opportunity to choose the life they wish to go after. That's I live in that knowing that at some point every single human will have the opportunity to choose the life they want to live. That's what I wish for humans.
That's beautiful, man.
Thank
you. Yeah.
What is your wish?
Very close. I think that's in the end what it comes down to, is to it's also tricky. I feel like it's my dream for some, like, let's say my dream for humans doesn't have to, like, I don't want to, the way that I feel like my perspective of what a dream life would be doesn't have to be someone else's. And I feel like also, like, by the way that life in the universe works, there will always be challenges. So like you say, if we have a new 0 level, it doesn't mean there won't be challenges. I don't think it'll get boring. I think that the things that have given me the most meaning and the most fulfillment are overcoming things that I before wouldn't have thought were possible to overcome. So I think what I wish for people is to be able to live the life that they dream of and remember who they truly are and be a part of the bigger everything, be in a way that, which I believe is kind of a natural network in a sense. If we all step into alignment into our true selves, we will automatically all fulfill the role that we need to fulfill, so it will all work and we will all help each other. So I think it's It's about like living in alignment to your true self. And because of that, we will lift each other up.
So do you understand the calling for me, helping awaken the golden generation?
Yeah, absolutely. Samy Sam,
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
thank you so much, man.
Thank you, you're welcome. Because
was
it's
amazing.
time. It's time. It's time for all of us to just realize that, yeah, it's the moment we rise up. It's the moment to rise up to the occasion to make the world such a better place for our children. And, for centuries, we didn't have the answer and they were hiding the answer from us. But we are the generation that can see the answer, can build the answer, and can test and iterate the answer faster than them. So it's the first time that we have the tools, the power, the momentum, and the energy. And they know it, so they're lying to us. But, it's about to be time.
It absolutely is. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for being here. And
You're welcome.
everyone, thank you for tuning in again to Spirit Unfolding. And yeah, just double check if you're subscribed. Everything that Samy is doing that you might be interested in will be linked in the show notes. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
See you next time.